Hi, this is BB from clutterclearinglifecoaching.com, and I want to talk today about when everything is seeming to go wrong in your life. Like when things are going wrong one after the other, one after the other. How do you cope with this? When it feels like life is throwing one curveball after another, and it's raining down on you, and you don't know how to handle it. You don't know what to do. You don't know if there's a way out. Um, Is this going to last forever? Is it going to end today? Why are all these things happening? Why are all these things seeming out of whack? And we tend to focus a lot on the negative. That was my cat. We tend to focus a lot on the negative. And we tend to want to dwell on the negative. I think dwelling on negativity is something that we do naturally. We have a natural tendency to be negative. We have a natural tendency to react negatively. Like that negativity is always there laying right under the surface. Right under the surface, and we react to things negatively. And this includes things that we actually want, that we would like to experience, that we would like to have in our lives, that we would like to be a part of, that we would like to acquire, that we would like to just um, create something and produce something and exhibit it to the world. Well, look, this is what I have done. So, what do we do in this situation when we're feeling negative because things are seemingly going in a negative direction? No matter what we try, it seems to have a negative outcome. Do we focus on the negativity until we sort it out one by one by one by one, and we just, or do we just shift a little bit and focus on the positives, amplify them, make them bigger, clearer, louder than the negative thoughts? Because I believe if you try to fight negativity, you're going to spend the rest of your life doing so. This is where you need to disconnect. This is my belief system. Disconnect. Stop in the sense that you don't fight the negativity anymore. Identify the thoughts, identify the feeling that is attached to the thought, and release it. Let it go. And how do you release that? Let me explain that. Let's get a little technical there. How do you release? It means that you're so in tune with yourself that you can hear the thought, you have the thought, you know the feeling that's going to be attached to it, because after a couple of times, if you're getting more in tune with yourself, you start to identify certain thoughts. You start to know, well, this feeling is going to be attached to it, and you just let it ride and go. Let it ride and go. Because at the bottom of all of that negativity, it's only love. It's only passion. It's only alacrity. It's only vivaciousness. It's zest for life. Feeling enthusiastic, optimistic, decluttered. But we spend a lot of time fighting the negative instead of focusing on the positives. I tend to do that a lot. So while I'm sharing my wisdom with you and what I've learned, in life so far, I'm actually learning for myself as I'm making this video. Because all counselors, life coaches, any type of coach, any type of guru, they'll tell you the same thing. It's not just a sharing of information or sharing of life experiences. We're also learning at the same time. Like Les Brown, I always mention him. He said, "History was written, but history is also being written." It's a profound thing to me. When I heard it, it was profound, and it's still profound. History was written, but history is being written right now. What will yours say? How will you fit into history? How will you fit into whatever is being written? And I'm speaking in terms of spiritual, notations as well as physical notations. Are you going to live out loud your passions, your creativity, your ingenuity? Or are you going to live in fear and avoid these things? Are you going to focus on what could go wrong when you can focus on what is possible to go right? See, in each of us there's a negative, which is there. It's always lurking. But beneath that negativity, like I mentioned before, there's only love. There's only positivity. There's only a feeling of peace. It's peace. And within that peace, you can tell what you're really feeling. Like, if you want to do something, does it bring you joy when you think about it? Or, the flip side of that joy is the fear of you, if you do this thing, what are the consequences? Is it going to bother? How is it going to play out? And then all the negativity comes because you're now fighting yourself because you want to do something that's positive for you, that's right for you, that seems great for you. But then you have these fears that are pulling at it, tearing it apart. They literally tear apart that which is good, that which is wholesome, that which is beneficial. And when something is very important, the fears tend to amplify. It's almost like they're there, but because it's just lurking and attacking whatever positive thought you have or a positive thought of taking a certain action. It just attacks it. It comes out of nowhere, out of the ballpark, and it attacks it. Now, when you think about something you want to do, maybe start your own business, maybe create something, maybe collaborate with someone, maybe get a business partner, maybe you want to get married, you're afraid of commitment, maybe you want to be a public speaker but you're afraid of speaking in front of people, maybe there's somebody you want to ask out and you're afraid to ask them out, afraid of rejection. Maybe you want to make up with your partner, your family, whatever, but you have this fear, right? So you let those take over, and they will talk you out of doing what you want, have no doubt. They will talk you out of doing what you want. These fears are very good at that. But if you learn to identify them, and instead of giving in to them, just shifting your awareness just slightly, and you win. Because you're focusing now on the positives. When I was negative a few years ago, I was wound so tightly it used to hurt my body. My body used to literally hurt. So negative that if I was picturing myself in a kitchen, and if there was a recipe that called for 5 ingredients, and I had 12 of them sitting on the counter, my focus would be, what if I picked up the wrong spice and put it in the food? Or pick up the wrong ingredient? Now how lame was that? All I simply had to do was pick up the 5 ingredients, put them on the other side of the counter, and go from there. Common sense. I did that. I was like rigid, like a board with this type of negativity. What I learned how to do is differentiate that fear of focusing on what it could go wrong and focusing on what could go right. Because when you focus on what could go right, possibilities are endless. I mean, they are endless. Solutions are imminent. Solutions are right there, ready for the picking, ready for the taking. Solutions are there. You shouldn't let fear talk you out of doing that which you want to do. You shouldn't let fear talk you out of doing anything that you want to do, that you know in your heart that you want to, that is right for you, that is good. How does it make you feel when you think of the thing that you want? Does it fill you with joy? Does it fill you with happiness? Does it make you feel like this is something you feel so good? You can't get enough of it. you just feel exhilarated. Like you feel a sense of freedom. A freedom to be yourself, a freedom to be happy, a freedom to have joy, a freedom to just enjoy life. Then that's something good. So we can't let fear talk us out of this. So let's do a short round of tapping. Let's do a short round of tapping. I'm trying not to get my cat to jump up and spoil the video. Let's do a short round of tapping for focusing on the positive while focusing less on the negative. We can't go from being completely facing one direction to the other. Can you do that? No, because even if you turn your head, you can turn it as fast as you want. Facing right, facing left. It will make in 360 degree because well, 180 degree. What am I saying? Sorry, that was my cat. You're going the other way. It'll be 180 degrees. Let's do a short round of tapping. Even though I feel very negative, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel negative about what I want, and I'm having a hard time focusing on the positives, I choose to deeply and completely love and honor myself and how far I've come. Even though I feel negative, and I feel like I can never be happy, or I can never get what I really want here. And I'm having a hard time focusing on the positives in this equation. I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself anyway. All this negativity, instead of focusing on what is right, I spend all my time focusing on what is wrong. I spend all my time looking at what could go wrong. I spend all my time wondering, what if it goes wrong? I spend all my time wondering, how much trouble am I going to get into? I spend all my time wondering, what if no one wants to start this project with me? I spend all my time wondering, where am I going to get the people for my project? I spend time wondering, what if someone finds out and they hate me for it? I spend all my time wondering, how is this ever going to take off? How is this ever going to get off the ground? How am I going to make this work? Or are we going to make this work? And boy, the list is long. The list is long as your arm. There's so many things to worry about. There's so many tiny details for us to pick apart. And this could take a lifetime. This could take a lifetime. But some part of me is starting to enjoy this. Some part of me is enjoying the worry. It's become like a glove to me. I can put it on my hand. I want to wear this glove proudly sometimes. But you know what? Wearing this glove is not going to get me what I want. Wearing this glove of negativity and worry and anxiousness and wondering what could go wrong almost in every language possible, it's not going to get me what I want. There's always going to be that space, what if? And then when someone else comes along and take that opportunity and get whatever it is I wanted to get done and do it their way and succeed, then something will really die inside of me. So I'm going to choose to make a change today. Instead of focusing on all the negative ways that things won't work, I'm going to choose to focus on how it can work. Take a sip of water and try to take a deep breath, or three deep breaths, and just substitute any words that I use for any words that you want. And whatever your problem is, whatever is happening, substitute those words. Feel free to do so. And again, if you need help for one-on-one coaching, I can do it by phone or I can do it over Zoom. And my website is clutterclearinglifecoaching.com. That's clutterclearinglifecoaching.com. Yes, I have an accent. It's just clearing out the clutter. Because if you have a bowl that's filled with clutter, it's got rocks, it's filled with rocks, you've been collecting rocks. Suddenly, someone pointed you in the direction of diamonds. There's plenty of diamonds. Diamonds are valuable. Diamonds look good. But you have this bowl of rocks. You want the diamonds, but you'll just have this bowl, which is you, your vessel, you. How do you get the rocks, how do you get these diamonds into a bowl that is filled already? Pour them out. You have to pour them out and make space for what is positive, what is good, what fills you with joy, what fills you with peace, what fills you with excitement, what gives you love, life, and laughter. It's very, very possible. Very possible. So focus on this and do the round of tapping when it's necessary. And until next time, peace.